Welcome, coaches, to iCoach Football. I'm your host, Joel Forsberg, and this channel is dedicated to helping youth tackle and 7-on-7 coaches become more successful. Today's topic is formation. Okay, the very foundation of your offense is the formation. It's a very starting point. So, the one thing you want to do is ask yourself, why am I picking this formation? Okay, a lot of guys might be handed a playbook by a coach in the association or the high school coach or a friend, and it has a lot of different formations, a lot of different plays, and you just start taking them and adopting them. But that's not the way to go about it. The way to go about it is, why am I picking this formation? Okay, and there's a couple questions that you need to know before you pick your formation. Some of you don't have the luxury of picking a formation. I know in our association, some other associations around here in Minnesota, a lot of times the playbook comes down from the high school to the youth level, and you have to play some variation of the high school playbook. That makes a lot of sense for a lot of associations, but in a lot of situations, you do get the freedom to make your own playbook. And for that, I want to help you choose the perfect formation before you even start thinking about the plays you're going to run out of that formation. First thing you need to know about formations is don't get complicated. Okay, I know on the weekend, on Saturday and Sunday, watching college and pros, you're going to see dozens and dozens and dozens of different types of formations and then variations outside those formations. But that's because they are playing a much higher level of football where they're adjusting their offense according to what the defense is giving them. Okay, so they have a whole staff up in the box and down on the field looking at every aspect of the defense. Where's the weaknesses? What are they showing you? What are they giving you? And then adjusting to that. And in order to adjust to that, you have to have multiple different plays and multiple different formations and plays out of those formations to give you this real robust opportunity to take advantage of what they're showing you. You don't need that in youth football. In fact, you're not going to be able to even do that in youth football most of the time with the players that you have. So first and foremost, simplify your formation. And that's going to carry on down to simplifying your playbook. But first and foremost, your formation, simplify it. So I would suggest, and I know that you can win games and championships out of one formation and maybe a couple variations of that formation, but you don't need to get into 4, 5, 6, 7 different formations. Okay? What's the next thing you need to know about formations? 1, simplify. 2, make it a run-heavy formation. Okay? In youth football, you want to stay away from the spread. You want to stay away from trips and double wides and anything that is receiver heavy in your formation. You just want to put that away. Okay? There's very, very, very few teams at the youth level from 3rd grade through 8th grade that can win games through a heavy pass offense. That being said, get rid of the spread offense. Bring more players into the backfield. You need to have more players up in the box behind the line of scrimmage. Okay, so that's probably the most important thing when thinking about a formation is getting more runners into the backfield. And one thing you're going to hear me say a lot is I like to get more blockers at the point of attack. The more blockers you have at the point of attack, the more success your run game is going to be. So now I want to take a look at the 4 top formations that will take into consideration all those things I just said. Let's take a look at them right now. Okay, the first formation is called the power I. Okay, the power I is basically just the I formation, which a lot of guys probably ran in high school, maybe when they were younger. And basically, instead of just having 2 runners in the backfield, you're bringing another runner, and this runner is going to line up just next to, in parallel to, the other fullback. So this could be a halfback, this could be a fullback. So he could be fast, but usually he's a little bit bigger. All three of these backs in the backfield should be able to run the ball in different ways. However, this guy right here needs to be just a big thumper. He needs to be a downhill runner. He's usually going to be in a 3-point stance, and he is your lead blocker up through the middle and even off tackle and even around the corner. So he needs to be fast enough to get around this corner and hook that linebacker or that D end. He needs to be able to help with it if it is a pass play to come off this edge and take on a D end. He's your big dude. This guy's a little bit smaller and faster. This guy's really fast. Okay, so that's kind of now I like this because it's putting more guys in the backfield like we talked about before. But I don't like the power I because the power is always to one side. And you can the defense can kind of tell, especially if they're smart defensive coaches, that where you're lining up, how many times you're going to run to the strong side. There's certainly plays that go to the weak side of the power I, but most of your plays, your real strong plays, are going to go to your power side because that's where you are, and that's where you're going to hit the fastest. So I don't like the power I that much because it is an offset, unbalanced formation. Okay, but there are a lot of great playbooks that can be run from the power I. So if you get your hands on a playbook that you just fall in love with out of the power I, give it a shot. It's not a bad formation. That's why it makes the top 4. Okay, the next one, it doesn't have as far as what I like as far as the number of guys in the backfield. Like I said, I like to get 3 guys in the backfield. This is the pro formation. The pro formation has only 2 guys in the backfield directly. I mean, this guy sometimes is a wing back, sometimes he's split out, but the basis of this is you got 2 running backs in the backfield. And both of these running backs need to be almost equal in size and strength because at any given time, one of them is the lead blocker and one of them is getting the ball. Okay, and you can do some fun things out of this with with this tailback. You can go in motion. You can load this one side if you do have a pass play that if you're just killing them with the toss and you want to do a pass play out of it. You got 2 receivers over now here instead of 1 now. You can get pretty creative. You can do reverses with this. There's a couple different things you can do with this pro. I ran this for 2 years. I believe it was 2 years ago in the 5th grade, and it was productive, and that's why it makes the list. And in any given book, the pro formation is going to be in your top youth football formation. So there's the pro formation. Next formation I want to show you is called the T formation. The T formation. Basically, it looks just like a T. You got the stem and there's the T. All of your running backs are lined up shoulder to shoulder. A little bit, sometimes they can get a little bit wider apart depending on what you're running, but they're all in a 2-point stance. Very rarely, sometimes this guy will be down in a 3-point stance, but usually they're all in a 2-point stance. And there is a team in our league that runs this really well, and they run a lot of misdirection plays from the T formation. I'm not a fan of misdirection plays. I'll explain that in some later videos, the counters and reverses and things like that. But there is a team in our league that does really well. You got this guy this way, and this way, and everybody on the defense is like, where are these guys going? Like, who's getting the ball kind of situation. So that is the T formation. Now, my favorite is the variation of this. You just slide these guys back, and now you got the wishbone formation. Now, I like the wishbone because it opens up more channels that the T formation doesn't open up. In the T formation, if these guys are going off, he's got to kind of run around here, or this guy's got to kind of run around here. I'll explain that in some later videos, but just to simplify it, the wishbone formation, the tailback's back here. This fullback is in a 3-point stance. He's a hard downhill runner. He's a big, heavy hitter, but he's also fast enough to get to the outside edge. Okay, these guys are just about 1 yard back from this guy. They should be able to lean over and touch his hip. Not even really a yard, yeah, about a yard. They should be able to lean over and touch his hip like that at a 45-degree angle. These guys are both equally as fast, and you can interchange them, and there is a lot of different things you can do out of this. You can get guys going out here doing different things with the receivers. What I like to run is I like to run the receivers about 8 yards out like that. Not even sometimes 7 yards, far enough to get the corner that's covering them out, but not far enough where they can't do an out route, a corner route, a flat route, something like that out here, because you'll if you get my playbook later on, you'll see I like to get some pass plays going, very simple pass plays, and it all takes place right here with this receiver after you've set it up. I only like to run pass plays after you've set them up, and that's a good rule of thumb. Don't be heavy pass. I already said it, but if you can set up the pass play will work well for you, and you should have pass plays that you're setting up with the run. But in any case, that's where I land right there. Is my favorite is the wishbone. So in conclusion, you want to have a simple formation. Something that you might not even change until mid-season. You might not even have any add-ons, no motions, no split outs, any variations of it until mid-season. But really get the foundation, that first formation, and then start letting your plays do the work. Let your players start having to remember your plays, not the different formations. That'll help what limited memory they have, at any given time, being focused on their plays in that formation. And also, you want to be run heavy. Remember that. And obviously, my favorite formation right now, as of right now, that changes every year as coaches go on, and also changes with personnel as you'll see year over year. Who do I have, and let me adjust to that. But right now, my favorite is the wishbone, and I got a whole playbook coming out on that I'd like to share with you guys later. But hey, thanks for staying here. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, come back, and appreciate having you. Thanks.